The debate over loud pipes definitely has some passionate folks on both sides of it, with people who don't like loud aftermarket pipes arguing that they disturb the peace, while proponents claim that it makes them more noticeable to drivers. Now, I'm a fan of science and wholeheartedly believe that if you want the truth in this post-truth world, the best way to do it is by running a study. And while studies may have flaws in methodology and may not be able to provide definitive answers to life's most important questions, they at least give us insights that we may previously have lacked. Now, I have a Stage 1 and Screaming Eagle slip-ons on my Sportster Roadster. Check out that video in the top right hand corner. And now a Mivv slip-on on my Tenere 700. So how much did this pipe cost, how much weight did it save, and most importantly, how does it sound? Oh, and will it save my life? For answers to these and life's other important questions, stay tuned to Different Spokes TV. And don't forget to subscribe, like, follow us elsewhere, etc., etc. Let's go. So first, let's talk about this pipe. I bought it from Mivv with my own money. I did not get a discount, I did not let Mivv know that I would review the pipe on my channel, or that I even have a channel. This allows me to be completely subjective and truthful about liking it or not. I told myself that I bought the pipe to drop some weight from my bike, because it's supposed to be the lightest big adventure bike, but I've hung so much crap on it that it's probably approaching the mass of a Boss Hoss by now. But if I'm being totally honest, I did want to uncork the sound of this awesome parallel twin which mimics the sound of a V-twin with its 270-degree crank. Who doesn't want their T7 to sound like a Ducati with termy pipes? So after extensive research, which consisted of listening to every aftermarket pipe on YouTube, I decided on the Akrapovic. I went to their website, checked their price, and I decided on Mivv, an Italian company which produces racing exhausts for various bikes. They offered one in a carbon finish which goes better with the blue and gray T7s, and titanium which looks better with the white and red bike I have. I ordered the titanium one on eBay for $405 American, which with the fees translated to 520 Canadian dollars, about half the price of an Acro. Not bad. Some details about the pipe. Mivv claims a gain of 2 horsepower and 1 pound-foot of torque with just the slip-on pipe, with the power and torque peaks moving slightly up the rev range. However, when you look at the dyno chart, you're getting increases across the whole range. Impressive. They also claim the pipe to be less than half the weight of the stock system. I confirmed a 6-pound drop from the 11 pounds of the stock system to 5.2 on the Mivv with the full baffle in. I won't bore you with installation details. Other channels have covered this already. It was a bit of a chore fitting the slip-on over the header pipe as I found the slip-on a bit small. Ironically, it was more of a wedge-on than a slip-on. Otherwise, things went well. One cost-cutting measure to note is that Mivv uses the Tenere stock heat shield instead of supplying their own. They provide the brackets which you position on the pipe and then use to mount the shield. I completed the job in a little over an hour and the pipe was on. One thing to note is that Mivv sells you the pipe with a baffle, but only attaches that baffle with one rivet while providing a handy hole through which to drill it out, something I did immediately. I must say the titanium pipe looks very sleek and high-end. But you've all been waiting for the sound test, so here it is. First, the stock pipe. Then the Mivv with the baffle. And finally, when we remove the baffle, honestly, first impression, the baffle quiets the bike too much while the open pipe sounded nice and deep but too loud. It sounds quieter on video than in real life. And so I went to YouTube for inspiration. A channel called 60 Degrees installed the same pipe but cut down the baffle to improve the sound. Awesome idea. I broke out the hacksaw and voila! One important consideration are your neighbors. With my Screaming Eagle Harley, I like to sneak away from the house at ultra low revs to maintain good relations. So I wanted to retain that capability with the Tenere. Then I took the bike out for a longer ride in each configuration. So the verdict is, I'm keeping the baffle in. I don't know how much of it comes through on YouTube, but the pipe without the baffle is obnoxiously loud, especially under acceleration. Call me a weenie, but I ride the country roads around my town and the nice scenic roads around my cottage, and those places are very peaceful. I don't want to be that guy. The bike sounds good to me with the cut baffle, and in the hypothetical event that I find myself off-roading somewhere where I shouldn't be, it's better to fly under the radar. With the baffle, I can keep those revs so low that the pipe is barely louder than stock. Then, when I get out on the open road, I can open things up and enjoy the music. Does it improve performance? It feels peppier with the baffle than the stock setup or the baffle-free version. Now for that most important of questions. Do loud pipes save lives? Well, we have a study, and those who argue that they do won't like the results. So let's take a look at what scientists have found and how it impacts this controversial debate. The study was conducted in Romania, and I will link the Adventure Rider article in which it was explained in the description of this video. 6 motorcycles were tested at full revs. They represented various decibel levels, with the loudest measuring 110 decibels. Drivers in a stationary car with the engine revving moderately and the radio playing at a typical volume were asked if they could hear the motorcycles at various distances from behind the car while the bikes were at the rev limit. Spoiler alert, they couldn't. The very loudest motorcycle could be heard in the car, and that was only when it was right beside it. As a former city dweller who has been nearly taken out multiple times by drivers who change lanes into me, I can attest to the fact that by the time you're beside the car, it's too late. The problem is that cars have gotten too well insulated against the noise from the outside to hear the things that might actually prevent accidents. Maybe 20 years ago, when cars weren't designed like sensory deprivation tanks, the loud pipes argument held salt. But apparently not now. Car interiors are built to mute all road noise. And so, as motorcyclists, we find ourselves at the mercy of inattentive phone-wielding drivers who might splatter us all over the road because they're more concerned about checking how many likes the picture of their meal received than killing someone with a 2-ton weapon they've been entrusted to guide. That's one of the primary reasons I got out of the city and now ride roads that are devoid of traffic. Highly recommended, by the way. So, if loud pipes don't save lives, what use are they? And before everyone starts typing in all caps, I want to assure you that what I have to say will probably piss off both the people who think their peace and quiet should be everyone else's primary concern, and the folks who think that the entire exhaust system is an attack on individual freedom by hippies, communists, and other undesirables. I'm somewhere in between. I think that stock exhausts look and sound like garbage, but I'm not a big fan of fully open pipes either. I've drilled baffles out of stock exhaust to improve their rumble, and I've put slip-ons on my bikes for the same reason, and also to make them lighter, but those slip-ons were always the tamest acoustic option available. I like Akrapovics on most bikes because they deepen the engine noise but do not magnify it to the point of sounding like a rocket launch. I like Screaming Eagles on Harleys for the same reasons. My philosophy is that someone having a coffee on a patio on Main Street shouldn't be in pain when I ride by, but that I should still be able to hear my bike. Call me a centrist. Ultimately, I'm happy with this pipe's weight saving, sound, and price. It won't save my life, but it's fun to hear it back there. What are your thoughts? How loud do you like them? Would you put this pipe on your bike? Baffle? No baffle? If you have an MT-07, XSR 700, or a Tracer 700, you probably have a similar option, as those bikes have the same engine as the Tenere. Or do you like another brand? Thanks for watching, and ride safe. If you're interested in any of the gear that Brooke and I wear or use, or the camera equipment we use to film this channel, the links are below. Everything listed there was bought with our own money, and we are not sponsored by any company. However, the links below are affiliate links, and the channel is paid a small amount for referring you to shop at no additional cost to you. We do not recommend any products that we are not satisfied with ourselves, but we do strongly urge you to do your research and select the correct size for items like helmets and clothing. As always, thanks for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And whatever you ride, enjoy it. Wave at other bikers no matter what they're riding. We're all part of a brotherhood and sisterhood. Keep the rubber side down, shiny side up, and may the spokes be with you.